What's up, everyone? I'm back here today and I'm going to teach you about my little red-eared sliders. I got these little guys from a guy who was selling them. I know, you're not supposed to buy them when they're this small, but I've been raising turtles since I was way young. I made mistakes then, but I've learned from them. So I thought, why shouldn't I show y'all some of the mistakes I've made and some of the things that you can do so you won't make them same mistakes that I did. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? This one here, its name is Scarlet, and this one that's trying to get out so crazily, its name is Smasher. I'm trying to feed them some worms at the moment. They can probably eat them whenever they calm down a little bit. But we'll see. This is the small tank where well, it's not a tank, it's a plastic tote. They don't stay in this forever. They hang out in here whenever I'm getting changes of water. Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit of common info about the red-eared sliders. Around full grown, the male will be about 10 inches and the female will be about 12 inches. They can live up to 15 to 30 years. They are omnivores, and they live fully in the water, but they do need a place to get out of the water and dry off. These turtles are not for children. They get mishandled and not taken care of properly by so many kids because people are just trying to sell them for a couple bucks. So I would suggest not getting them for children. And you cannot sex them until maturity. When you are able to, you should look at their tails and their claws, because the males will have a long tail and a long claws, and the females will have short tail and short claws. A female can lay infertile eggs without a male. Okay, let's get on to the cage requirements next, shall we? The cage requirements. The turtles, they need 10 gallons of water per inch of shell. So these two, they need about 30 to 40 gallons. They can be kept in aquariums, turtle tubs. I've even seen them inside of some troughs. They need a basking dock to get out of the water. You can buy one at a pet store, or you can even make one. You need to get a good water filter. They make a lot of mess. They waste half of their food. and just messes it up. You need to change the water weekly. For a filter, you should get one about double the number of gallons in the tank. That would be best, but you don't gotta do this. But you will have to change the water more often. Okay, next let's go to heating and temperatures. They need a submersible water heater with a temperature of around 75 to 85 degrees in the water. My room, it stays around 73. So I only need a little bit of a water heater to help push the water a little bit higher. Works really well. They also need a basking light with UVB and UVA lights. The basking area should be around 85 to 90. I keep mine around 87. Let's talk about the food they need. For young turtles like this, they should be fed every day. For older turtles, they should be fed around every 3 days or every other day. Their food involve crickets, superworms, freeze-dried shrimp, krill, pellet food, some veggies, and some fruit. And when they get a little older, you can even feed them some minnows. I've heard people giving the bigger ones pinky mice, but I would not suggest that. Okay, now I'm going to show you their tank. I like to feed my turtles the worms, of course, and I also give them these every day. Aquatic turtle food for hatchlings. When they get a little bit bigger, I'm going to switch them to the longer pellets. And I also feed them stuff like bananas, a little bit of kale, you know, just like fruits and vegetables. I try to get that to them every day. They seem to enjoy it. So, that's about it. Okay, now let's move on to the cage. See, I'm using a tub. I made it myself. Well, the cage I made, not the tub. I got a towel here to block the light going from here to my snake to help block out that. I use a regular light here. I use a red heat bulb. It's one of the big ones. I got it up pretty high, so I got it fairly good on the heat. It regulates around 85 to 87. I've got it on a rack system. Not the best rack, but it's easy to move around for when I change the tub, move the tub, whatever. I made a basking area out of a piece of wood I had left. If they want to get any higher, they can climb these little things, or they can hide underneath it. I've got some fake plants here so they can hide in those. They usually like to chill around right in here, and they bask around there. Every once in a while I see them on this right here, and I've got just some sticks here. This tub holds about 30 gallons, So for their age right now, it's perfectly fine. I'm going to put them in a trough in the future, so it'll be a lot bigger and it'll hold them for the rest of their life. I'm probably going to get around a 250 gallon one, maybe 300 gallon water one. I mean, it'll work fabulous. I got a filter right there and it's working really well. I gotta clean this about every week to about like a week and a half. That's what I'm getting ready to do now. I threw a couple little like big stones down there, and they can go underneath the water. And it's just a tub, I mean, but it's working really well for them. I've had no problems. Sometimes they do go and hang out behind the filter, and I gotta come and do like this and open it up for them like that so they can get away from it. I don't like them going by there, but I don't know, they kind of enjoy it. But that's about how it is. They also enjoy when I put this like this in the water, and I will see them hanging on to that little vine right there. Like, that's like their most favorite spot. Okay, well, that's about all for today, y'all. Give me a like and subscribe, and thanks again. Bye.